Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leanna and today we're going to do a what sold video. And when I do a what sold video, I like to pick those items that of course sell for a good amount of money or profit, but also sort of give you a different sort of way of selling in the sense of buying a different product or a different brand or whatever it could be, just going outside of the box a bit. I like to sort of focus on those sales because I think they help broaden everybody's minds into what's available to resell, what can make you money. Okay, so sales are up. They're not fantastic and wonderful, and I'm not doing dances every night, but they are getting better, so I'm very happy with that. We have nothing going on, I can't speak, nothing from Vinted, nothing from Etsy that I'm going to talk about today. eBay is still our number one seller. It just is. It has the biggest, audience, and it just happens to be the one where we have most of the listings and the bigger audience. So we sell a lot more on eBay. Poshmark US is next because it for some reason is going really, really well this month. Posh Canada has improved, but it's not doing quite as well as the US. But that could be because on the US I do have my bot. My OneShop is on my US closet, and I am manually sharing my Canadian closet. So that could be the difference. I'm thinking maybe in November I will switch it and see if it makes a difference in Canada. We'll see. Anyway, so we're going to start with a couple of eBay sales. And again, I'm telling you about these just mainly because they were really good money makers. We got the items very cheaply, and they sold fairly quickly as well. So we're going to start with this. This is SD Toys. It's a little tiny Fender guitar. It was like maybe this big. It wasn't very big. It was in the box. I'm not 100% sure if it was new. And I do remember that Paul picked it up, I believe either from our local Mission Thrift or our local Goodwill for like $4 or $5. And it sold for $57.95 US. This big. Seriously, a little toy, which I would never have thought of. Paul is really good at picking up those things that are just that little bit different, and he does do comp searches when he does that, and he just has a good eye that way. The next item I want to talk about are these Scientific America magazines. They were from 1931. It was a set of 12. It sold for $59.99 US. Paul picked these up at an online auction, paid $5 Canadian for them, and it's not the first time that he's sold magazines in a bundle like that. He has sold vintage woodworking magazines that I remember he got a while back, a big box of them for like $10 for the big box, and he sort of bundled them all out, like 3 or 4 bundles, which was awesome. He's also just recently sold American Girl magazines, which I don't know about you, I watch shed flips. I want to find an American Girl doll and sell it, just because sometimes that happens. You watch people and they go, you see what they buy and you're like, oh, I want to find that. It becomes your bolo in a sense. But anyway, I digress as usual. So that's what I want to talk about from eBay. We're going to go to Poshmark Canada next, and we're going to talk about, it's becoming that season. I had sweaters, Christmas stuff, workwear sold. So we're going to actually start with this pair of Zara black chunky heel tassel loafer, very Y2K type of thing. The chunky heels are still in. I don't exactly remember where I picked them up. I think it was from the Goodwill here in town, and I wouldn't have paid more than $5 or $6 for them. And they sold for $41 Canadian. Yay. The next item that I'm going to talk about, I have my list down here, sorry. These Lane Bryant, they were new at tags. They were a pinstripe trouser, great for your work, your business office, whatever. I picked these up on one of our trips over into the States for $3 United States money. I don't know why I said it like that. For $3 US, and I sold them for $34 Canadian. I picked them up because they were new at tags, and they were really inexpensive. Lane Bryant is a pretty good, middle of the road brand. So if it's at the right price point, I will pick up Lane Bryant before I pick up Torrid sometimes, because Torrid's just not selling well for me right now. Yes, so workwear, people are going back to the office, so career stuff, blazers, things like that are coming back, I think, in popularity. The next one I'm going to talk about is this cute little Christmas vest. Now, this works on a couple levels. Number one, it's a cute little vest for Christmas. It's got the snowmen and snowflakes and things like that. But it's also by the brand Woolrich. And Woolrich, I almost called it Bullrich. I don't know why. Woolrich is a good sort of quality brand. It doesn't sell for a ton, but this has been in my closet for a long time. And so I really don't remember where I got it. It did sell for $32. I'm happy that it sold, and this is the right time of year for it to sell. People are starting to think of the holiday season, Christmas. I'm not yet. It's not even Halloween yet, so I'm gonna get that done. Anyway, the next two I want to talk about is, they're sweaters. This is, it's sweater weather. Sweaters are coming back, but it's also about the fabric content, the wool or whatever that's used. And I just want to double check the first one I want to talk about is this All Saints sweater that I sold. I just want to see if I can find, oh yeah, it was. Okay, so this All Saints sweater sold. It was made with merino wool, and it sold for $35. Now, maybe you're out there thinking, wow, All Saints, I mean, that's a good brand. Why did it only sell for that? You know what? I've had it listed for about 6 months. I didn't pay very much for it, so I still made a lot of profit. But it's been listed, and it's been cross-listed. It's been relisted. I listed it. Tons of people liked it. Nobody bought it. Sent out offers, the whole bit, and I've done that like 3 times now. So when I had it listed, they offered me $35. I think actually they started at $30, and I said no. Or maybe I think they started at $25. That's what they did. They started at $25. And I'm like, no. And I came down to $40. And then they came up to $32 or something stupid. It was one of those, and I'm like, what do I do? Do I just continue to play the game, or do I just forget it? I offered $35. That was my final, and they actually accepted it. So it kind of worked out. But I went that low because I wanted it gone. I wanted to make profit. So I'm trying to keep in mind that I am not a warehouse. I want to sell things, and sometimes I gotta let it go. Just let it go. The last one I'm going to talk about for Poshmark Canada is this Massimo Dutti sweater. It was wool and cashmere, and if you hear cashmere, cashmere is always a good buy in my books. I love the feel of cashmere. I will buy it as long as there's no holes. Condition matters. This sold for $32. It made me good profit, so I was quite happy with it. Yeah, so look at fabric content. I think it's important. People like their wool, not shrunken, of course. They like their cashmere, they like their silks, they like, all that good stuff. So when I find a cashmere sweater, brand doesn't always matter so much. Condition for sure matters, but not always brand. But Massimo Dutti is not a horrible brand. I have sold it before. I don't find it a lot. It doesn't sell for fantastic money, but it gave me good profit. So we're going to move on to Poshmark US. Yes. Okay, so Poshmark US. First we're going to talk about this. It was a bundle, so first we're going to show you the cream and sugar bowl, and we're going to show you the mugs. So all 6 pieces went into a bundle. There were 2 different listings. It sold for $70 US. They are Diane von Furstenberg, who I did not know had a home section, but I guess she did or does. I picked these up at a local St. Vincent de Paul for $10 for the whole set, and I sold it for $70, and the buyer was very happy. I have a thing for creamers and sugar bowls. When I go to a thrift store, I always look at them and I'm thinking, oh, they're so pretty, oh, I want that, and I always look at them, and nobody really uses them anymore, so I don't know why I gravitate to them, and they're not really a huge money maker unless you get a really good designer brand or they're antique or something like that. But you know what? Home goods is another way to sell things that make money. That's why I go looking at them. That and the fact that it just makes my heart happy to see really funky things. So, anyway. Number two, and actually the next three are all about the holiday season, and this is what sold. This additional holiday, it was a velvet wrap top. It was beautiful. It was heavy. I believe it was new with tags. I believe I got this in a mystery box, so it cost me like $2, and it sold for 36 American. So I was happy with that profit. The next thing I want to talk about are these boots. I love these boots. I picked them up at the local Value Village, and it was either Seniors Day, which we get 30% off if I take Paul, or it was a 20% coupon. I'm not sure which one it was. They cost me, I think, in around $12, in around that, and they sold for 58 American. These boots, they did have a brand, but the brand was so faded that I couldn't, in good conscience, sell them as that brand. I thought I knew what it was, but I didn't want to take the chance, so I just listed them under vintage. But they had the, I should say the sweetest, but the coolest little skull buckles. They were super, super cool, and they had a kitten heel type thing, but the heel cap needed to be replaced. So they weren't in fantastic condition, and they still sold for $58. So sometimes cool vintage things do sell, and they sell fairly fast. I haven't had them forever. They've only been maybe a couple of months. I'm not sure if I showed them in a video or not, to be honest with you. The next one I'm going to show you is a Marchesa Note dress. It was metallic. It was, I believe it was short sleeve. It was a midi length. It was beaded with metallic everywhere, all over. And even though it was new, it still had a bit of damage. Some of the beading was coming off, which of course I disclosed in the listing. It sold for $60 US. Now the story with this dress, it has been in my closet for 2 years. No, I'm lying, because I've been 3.5, 3 years. Yes, 3 years. Why? Okay, so when I was just starting out doing my reselling business, and I was binge watching everybody and anybody on YouTube because I wanted to learn everything. Because I basically was coming into this blind. I did not know anything. So people were getting, these mystery boxes from companies, these return pallets from companies, this, whatever. And we in Canada don't have ThreadUp. I mean, we could get stuff from them, but it costs us so much in custom fees and shipping, it's not really worth our while. But in about the 6-month mark of my journey and watching all these people on YouTube, I decided that I would research and see if I could find a company that had sort of a return pallet type thing here in Canada. So I ordered this. It wasn't really a pallet. It was 2 big boxes from this company. I'm not going to say the company because, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% which one it was because it has been 3 years. I would never buy from them again. It was not a great experience. I paid, I think it was like $450, and it ended up being a sort of per piece, ended up being like $15 or $16. And that was because a lot of the pieces they sent me were damaged to the point where I was not comfortable selling them. A few of them had their security tags still left on them, which if you've ever had to deal with that, I didn't want to. And I tried the fork thing, it didn't work. So I don't know. But a lot of them were damaged. A lot of them were just, you couldn't use them. Some were just crappy no-name brands. And this dress came from that box. And I believe it is the last thing from that box now. I have almost broken even, in a sense, even though all my time involved and, the photos and the listing and whatever, no, I didn't make my money at all. I made nothing. I lost money on this. And it's made me really hesitant about mystery boxes that way. I don't want to put a lot of cash outlay into them. Anyway, I sold this for $60. I thought it was going to be worth a lot more. And it has been in my closet forever. And when somebody finally offered me $60, I took it and ran. I said, nope, that's it. It's gone. It's gone. Let's just get it going. move on. And I'm happy, and the customer was happy, so that makes it even better, right? But anyway, after story time, holiday items are selling. People are getting ready to go out and party come this holiday season, which is a really nice feeling. But if you start to see sparkle and sequins and, whatever it is you think would be good for a holiday party, you might want to put a few of those in your closets or in your eBay stores to see if they will sell. Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about that sold on Posh US is this new with tags Austin Reed wool silk blend blazer. It was new with tags. I don't know if I said that. I did sell it for $50. I have had it for a while. Why I wanted to bring this up is because it is menswear, and a lot of people may be hesitant to try menswear. I am all for it. I do have some menswear. I do tend to stay in shirts, t-shirts, button-ups, that kind of thing. I do have a couple of blazers. I don't go into men's pants very often at all, but that's just me. I don't know why. I think it's probably because they're expensive around me. I don't know. But menswear is sort of an untapped market because, I'm a female. I don't have any real reason to go into the menswear. I was going to say Paul doesn't wear clothes, but that's not what I mean. He's not fussy about what he wears. You know what? He's not into the labels, and that's cool. So to go into menswear and look for this stuff is sort of learning. It's a new learning curve. And you know what? You want to learn about menswear, I do suggest watching Thrift of Life. He's got a menswear manifesto, and he knows his menswear. And he's really funny. So I would recommend watching him if you wanted to sort of go into that area. So, you know what? Think outside the box a bit, and things like that do sell. I mean, we are in this business to make money, right? And it's a lesson that I've been learning, that I want to sell things that people want to buy, not just things that I love. So to think like somebody else is my lesson for today, I guess you would say. Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever gone out off of your beaten path and maybe tried something new and it's worked or didn't work? I'm not finding that my home goods sell very well on Poshmark. Sometimes they do, and I get really good prices for them. So I would suggest trying them on Poshmark. They do sell better on eBay, but there's a lot more competition on eBay as well. Thinking of magazines, I thought that was brilliant of Paul to start into that. He does check his comps when he goes into something new. So if you see a bunch of magazines at a thrift store, do a quick comp search and maybe you'll be surprised, right? Anyway, that is it for today. It's actually Thursday right now, but I've been uploading this on Friday. It's been a week, let me tell you. We did work the election on Monday, and that was exciting, and wow, it was a long day. Anyway, I said the F word a lot that day. That's a whole other story. Yeah, so it's been a long week. One of the cats is not feeling well. So you know what, we got to give him antibiotics, which I'm so looking forward to. If anybody has any tips about having to give your cat orally medicine, I'd appreciate it, because it's not something I've ever done, and I don't know. Anyway, that is it. It is Thursday. Paul is cooking dinner. Tomorrow, this will be uploaded on Friday. I'm a little bit I'm like this today. Anyway, everybody have a fantastic weekend. I'll be fine. Thumbs up if you like this content. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.